Would Trey Lance fix this team?
I think he would improve the run game slightly, but I think he's going to be inhibited by the way Kyle Shanahan has designed his offense. And so, fix this team. They might squeeze one or two more out than they would with Jimmy, I think. But I don't think it's not this year. I don't think Trey needs to develop. I think he has a ton of potential. It could be really good. I'm a big Trey guy, but I think he should have been playing last year. I wish he would have had an opportunity to play this year. I think he's going to, he needs a year or two. I don't think he's going to win a Super Bowl just by being here this year. Maybe. But I think the problem is deeper than the quarterback position.
I think he can be part of the solution. But as long as Kyle Shanahan's the head coach, I don't know that anyone can overcome his failures. Now, I mean, we saw what the offense looked like with Trey Lance. They scored 10 points in the first game. How can Christian McCaffrey can't overcome Kyle Shanahan, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel? It's bigger than one player, than even 11 players can overcome. But if Kyle Shanahan proves that he's not the right guy and the Niners do get the right guy, him along with Trey Lance, I couldn't imagine that Jim Harbaugh and Trey Lance with this roster would fail. But maybe I'm totally wrong.
I mean, look, I would just like to see them simplify the game for Trey. And it's not that he's not capable of it, but stop making him run. He's new. He needs to develop. Stop making him a running quarterback. Call out, play actions, rollouts, bootlegs. Take away the field. Let him do take away half the field for him. Make it easy for him. And that's what Jim Harbaugh did with Colin Kaepernick in the beginning. And that's how he
did it for Alex Smith too. I mean, he had a lot of success with Alex Smith, won a lot of games, and Alex Smith wasn't faster than Trey Lance. I mean, Trey Lance is a better athlete, straight up better athlete than Alex Smith ever was, and comparable to Colin Kaepernick. I mean, frankly, Jim Harbaugh is kind of perfect for this job. I mean, he never should have got fired in the first place. He has unfinished business. It's his freaking team. It's his freaking stadium. They built that stadium off the back of his teams and the excitement that he generated. And he's proven that he can take a roster like this with a quarterback like this and win. Maybe they could do even better than Harbaugh, but if he wants the job, how do you say no to him? I don't know.
Yeah, the tough part is Balky hired Harbaugh, whereas Shanahan hired Lynch. And, even though I don't really hate John Lynch, I think he's a good dude. I feel like if you're going to bring Harbaugh in, you got to let him make the decision on if Lynch stays or if you want somebody else this time, because that was part of the problem, part of the bad dynamics that you had. It was Jed York and Balky versus Jim Harbaugh.
I just have a feeling that Harbaugh and John Lynch would work well together. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that they know each other quite well. They played in the same era. John Lynch is really savvy. And I don't know how good he is with personnel because I honestly don't know who picks which players, but it seems like he's very savvy in terms of just managing an organization as opposed to Trent Baalke, who was dreadful at it. Lynch does not compete with his coaches. You've never heard Kyle complain about Lynch. So I don't know. I think it might work. But again, I don't know. I don't know if Harbaugh's the best option for this team. It might be better to go get the next up-and-comer like Ken Dorsey. Like Andy Reid, when he got hired by the Eagles, was 41. Ken Dorsey is 41. It's okay to have some foresight and not just bring back retreads because, frankly, Jim Harbaugh didn't win the Super Bowl either, although he is a better coach than Kyle.
Personally, I don't like going back in time. I'd rather move forward and find somebody young, find the next Andy Reid.
I'm with it. Private Caboose 2961 says, was there eyes on Jim Harbaugh after the game? Didn't get to watch the game because I was working. I didn't get to see the television. Were they panning to him during the game?
I didn't get to see that either. And question for you, where was Trey Lance? I didn't see him at all in the coverage. Was he there?
I bet he was in a box, but I didn't see him. Like Emmanuel Mosley is up in the press box, and you see him walking around with the big brace on his knee, eating with all of us. I haven't seen Trey, so I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah.
Josh Wyatt says, hold on, relevant wasn't an endorsement, it was an indictment. It starts at the top. Yorks only care about being relevant. They're the problem. Yeah, the Niners are media darlings, kind of like the Cowboys. National media loves talking about the Niners because they have such a big fan base and they're kind of alone here on the West. They're like the only team on the West Coast with a big fan base. So they want to talk about them. They want to call them Super Bowl contenders, but I think they're overrated. And Jed just likes being in that Jerry Jones Cowboys conversation as long as they're relevant. You're right, Josh. I don't like it. It's not what I was raised with.